So yes, he has set a very nice tone to the starting that how the business structures should work. So I'll just go a little back. 2012, when I graduated from college, I met two people. One was a CA, another was a lawyer. So I asked them that I want to form a company. So both of them had their own views. CA was more talking about how I can save money or how I will get into the taxation and other things. The great lawyer, if any lawyers are there, don't mind it. His only aim was to scare me. That if you are not getting into a private limited or an LLP, so many XYZ things will happen to you. So then I thought, let's do some background work, know about the different business structures which are available in market. Someone told about the proprietorship, then the partnership, private limited, LLP. Yes, no one told me about the limited companies and the family venture because I was not from a business house. So now I will tell you the two versions of each type of business structure. When it comes to sole proprietorship, most of us when we start, we think yes, we are the alone person, we have to start a company. The CA version, it's very good when no one else is investing in you. You don't have to declare whatever you are earning. Can someone just dim that light? Yeah, thank you. So the CA is very happy. Wow, this is great. Either this or that will work. So I should take one side. You can switch on that light. If you want, I will stand in the podium. That will be the best place without any light coming out there. So the CA version, yes, sole proprietorship, you don't have to worry much. Only the income which you want to show, you show it on the books. The remaining you can keep. As I guess the first speaker was telling, doctors wants to make black money. No, that is not correct. We are not told about making black money. We don't know exactly the different structures which we can get into. Okay, it has gone. The lawyer version, if you start a proprietorship, you don't have to get many documentations are not there. You can just get a normal registration, a shop and establishment, start off with a sole proprietorship. These are the positive points. Coming to the negative, the very first thing he said was, if you want to scale up your business, people will not invest in you because they want a structured thing present where they can invest. So proprietorship, yes, a family-owned business you want to run for yourself, it's a good model. But when you want to scale it up, you have to think for different models. Those who are in traditional business, one option is your joint Hindu families. So what a joint Hindu family mean is, if anyone who is born in your family, he's your legal heir. You cannot add someone from outside. Liability-wise, the karta, he is the main person who is running the business. He is liable for everything. If you do a fraud, even other member do a fraud, the karta is liable for that, but other peoples are not. So that's the joint Hindu business. Coming to general partnership, start with 2 people. You minimum require 2 people to start a partnership. What's the advantage of partnership? Again, the taxation benefits are always there. You don't have to declare everything. Liabilities are equally shared by both. The only problem arises here is if your partner he takes a loan on the partnership name and uses it for some other purpose than your business, still you are liable for it. You have to pay for the things done by your partner. And by chance, he or she wants to break the partnership or he is no more, the firm dies then and there itself. You cannot take it to the next level. So the beautiful answer for that was a private limited company. So in 2012, the LLPs were not that popular. So someone told a private limited company will be the best fit for you. The question was, okay, it's the best fit for me, then what's the pros for it? The liabilities will not get attached to your personal property. Okay, So as a 22, I was not having much of personal properties. Yes, it was my dad's properties or my family's property, but nothing was there with me. So, but they said in long term, any liability will be just attached to your company and limited to what shares you are having in it and not beyond it. You can grow your company, you can take loans, you can get the different equities coming in. But once you want to take money from public, this is not the structure. I said, fine, right now there is nothing called a public which I am looking at. Then what are the bad sides of it? So the very first thing the CA said was 30% tax. Any profit you are making, you have to pay 30% tax. And every year you have to show what you are earning because your bank statement also goes along with your taxes to the company. Okay, what else? Compliances. Every year you have to do the ROC compliance, you have to shell out money. So a new business, whenever they are starting it, they always think how to save money. They don't want to get into paying such huge taxes. Think of every year ROC compliances, you have to spend say a 30,000-40,000, not much, but yes, for early startups, that is something which they worry about. So someone came up with a limited liability partnership. So what benefit it has over a limited company? Only the documentations are less. Taxation same, 30% bracket. There is a surcharge of 10% in LLPs if your business crosses 1 crore. But you see the same thing in a private limited company, just 5% if the business crosses 1 crore. So tax-wise, private limiteds are still better than an LLP. Then why LLPs, why people are moving into LLP? The second point, maximum of 50 members. If your company is having more than 50 members, you cannot have it as a private limited. But LLP, there is no restrictions. You can have n number of members coming with you to form an LLP. You can get the monies from them and use it. And the liabilities are only restricted to the shares which you are holding with the LLPs. Unlimited companies. How many of you have heard of unlimited companies in India? Not much. A classic example is your Amway. Amway, how many of you have heard of Amway? Yes, so Amway is an unlimited company. So what does unlimited means? So the liabilities, any organization which is formed with all members is, all the liabilities are unlimited. Anyone doing any fraud, all of them are responsible for it. Your liabilities are for everything. But why people get into it? Again, the documentation part, though you have to show, you need not show all the members who are with you. Everyone should not disclose their assets and other things, and the assets are never attached to it. And you are not liable to public in the way a limited company is, but you can raise funds from public. So I can have all of you tell, okay, invest in this laptop. You all can start investing here, become member of my company, but I should not register it as limited and I can still take money from all of you. That's the unlimited company. Public limiteds. Yes, now all of healthcare giants are going into IPOs. So what's the biggest advantage of IPO is? You can subscribe, you can invite public to subscribe to you. And whenever you want to raise a higher funds, rather than if you don't want to get with P's, as sir was telling, P's are ready to kill your business. If you have reached that level, you can raise money from the public. And in India, public will not kill you if you are not doing good. So minimum requirement is 7 members and maximum there is no limit. Paid up capital is 5 lakhs, so even that is not something which is very huge in terms of the business who are going to a limited. Now even SMEs are going into the limited platform where they are going for IPOs to raise money. SMEs IPO are not that much publicized like normal IPOs of your Apollo, HCG, who are going public. You will not know about the smaller healthcare IPOs which are happening, because it's again the same group of families and well-wishers who are subscribing to the shares at that point of time. Then there is something called a cooperatives. Yes, all cooperative societies. It's a volunteer organization where the members work together for the promotion of the same interest. So under a cooperative society, you can raise the money from within the system or from outside the system, but the money should get used in the same interest. So if I say for healthcare, I am raising a cooperative society for healthcare. I can do anything in healthcare, but it should only be healthcare. So branch offices. So it's more if a foreign body wants to come to India, but they don't want to register themselves. So what they can do is they can open a branch office, but the branch office will again be completely under the head office. So if a US company wants to invest in India, but they don't want to put money through FDI, they will just open a branch office here, which will report directly to the US office, and all the functions will be done here. Subsidiary, yes, 100% FDI in healthcare. Anyone can open a subsidiary company, the parent being in US or UK, but the subsidiary can be registered in India under any of the business structures. So this slide is something I don't want people to see, but yes, you should see that. That which is the most beneficial when you want to ease of formation is proprietorship, nothing to do there. One fine day you get up, go to a GST, now GST is there, so go to that office, get a GST number for you, that's a proprietorship. So, and the GST number will be very simple, your PAN number with 01 or 02 ahead of it. That's a sole proprietorship. Most easy formation, and the least beneficial will be a company in terms of ease. You cannot have a limited company just like that. Cost of formation again, easiest is your proprietorship, difficult is company. Transfer of ownership, private limited company is the most beneficial because you are limited, the MOU which you write, it clearly mentions that the director or his family member, whoever is alive, if a director dies, it automatically gets transferred to your heir. So that's the ease of most beneficial. And the least beneficial is again partnership. As I previously said, if something happens to the partner, the company had to shut down. Continuity, most beneficial company because a public limited never dies. Let the main proprietor die or leave the company. The shareholders are there, they will choose a new chairman and the company survives. That not with the sole proprietorship. Regulations, proprietorship, you don't have to do documentation. You don't have to show what the money you are making. Sorry. And same is availability of capital. So as Sir was telling, who will get a PE or a funding easily is a company. Because here is the public money. It's not the one person who is coming and giving the money to you. Public is subscribing to your shares. It's easy to raise money out of there. Liability-wise, company and LLP, most beneficial. Your personal assets are not tagged to it. You can just liable to the shares which you are holding in that particular company. And the least beneficial is proprietorship because everything is with you. So coming to a hospital setup, yes, this is the last slide. So coming to the hospital setup, what exactly will be most beneficial at current scenario? So there is a debate that either you should go for a public limited or a proprietorship. Sorry, private limited or proprietorship. Standalone units, proprietorship or a LLP is always beneficial for you till the time you have not reached to say a crore revenue or, yes, a crore will be a substantial number because after that you have to start making your books really well. So you cannot stay with a proprietorship when your revenues are touching a crore. LLP wise, you have to think your liabilities are restricted. Your documentations are not as heavy as a private limited company, though the tax benefits are not there much, but the documentation wise still you are saving there. So a standalone unit, I will still say people should opt more for a LLP wise. But if you have a vision of having multiple outlets where you want to raise a capital either from bank or from an investor, a private limited model is good because it never attaches your property to the company. And you can easily raise the money. You get the investor as a director in your company, take his money, use it. So that will be small gist, not detailed explanation of different things which can be done under business models. So if someone has any questions to ask, they can ask. Yes, as expected, you all are already into business, so this was something which was not needed for you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Mahesh to present a memento to Dr. Salim Chowdhury.